The Philippines, a nation of over 110 million people spread across more than 7,000 islands. For decades, the world underestimated its power, viewing it as just another archipelago in Southeast Asia. But today, that narrative is changing fast, because right now, the Philippines stands at the center of the world's most dangerous geopolitical storm, and every major power is watching closely. Why? Because this small but determined nation is holding the line against giants, and its choices could reshape the balance of power in Asia and maybe even the world. This is why the world fears the Philippines now. Geography is destiny, and for the Philippines, destiny has placed it at one of the most critical crossroads on Earth. The country sits right in the heart of the Indo-Pacific, just north of Indonesia, west of the Pacific Ocean, and only a few hundred miles from China. To the west lies the South China Sea, home to $3.4 trillion worth of trade passing through each year. Whoever controls this sea lane doesn't just control shipping routes. They control the flow of global energy and commerce. The Philippines holds key gateways like the Luzon Strait, a narrow passage that serves as a vital military and trade corridor. For the U.S., Japan, and its allies, this is the lifeline connecting the Pacific to the South China Sea. For China, it's the gap standing between its navy and dominance of Asia. This tiny strip of water could decide the fate of the region, and the Philippines is right in the middle of it. The South China Sea isn't just about trade. It's about power, pride, and survival. For years, China has claimed almost the entire sea, building artificial islands, deploying warships, and intimidating smaller nations. But the Philippines has refused to back down. In 2016, the Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled in favor of the Philippines, rejecting China's sweeping claims. Beijing ignored the decision. Yet that ruling gave Manila a powerful diplomatic weapon. International law is on its side. And now, with growing confrontations between Chinese and Filipino vessels, the Philippines has become the front line of resistance. Each clash, whether it's water cannon attacks on Philippine boats or tense standoffs near disputed reefs, brings the world closer to a major conflict. The message is clear. If war ever breaks out in the South China Sea, the Philippines will be at the very heart of it. For decades, the Philippine military was underfunded and outdated. But that era is over. Today, Manila is modernizing at a rapid pace. Billions are being poured into new warships, fighter jets, missile systems, and coastal defense. The Philippines recently acquired BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles, capable of striking enemy warships at lightning speed. It's a weapon that instantly transformed the country's deterrence power. The Philippines is also hosting more U.S. bases under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, giving America a forward position against China. Meanwhile, Japan, Australia, and even South Korea are stepping in with defense partnerships. The message to the world? The Philippines is no longer defenseless. It's building the muscle to protect its sovereignty, and it's backed by some of the most powerful militaries on Earth. Fear doesn't always come from military might alone. It comes from influence. The Philippines has become a pivotal ally in a global chess game. Washington calls it indispensable. Tokyo labels it critical to stability. And even Europe is now eyeing Manila as a partner in securing Indo-Pacific trade. By standing firm, the Philippines has rallied international support. Unlike other nations pressured into silence, Manila has openly challenged China and invited stronger foreign ties. This courage has turned the Philippines from a quiet bystander into a central player in shaping Asia's future. Beyond strategy and alliances lies another source of strength: people. The Philippines is one of the fastest growing economies in Southeast Asia, powered by a young and dynamic workforce. With an average age of just 25, its population is full of energy, talent, and resilience. Filipino workers are building global industries, from technology to shipping to healthcare, making the nation indispensable in the global economy. Combine this with natural resources, untapped energy reserves in the South China Sea, and a rapidly growing middle class, and you begin to see why the world can't afford to ignore the Philippines. So why does the world fear the Philippines today? It's not because the country is the largest economy, nor because it has the biggest army. It's because of what it represents. A nation standing tall against overwhelming odds, positioned at the very center of the world's most dangerous geopolitical flashpoint. The Philippines has the location, the alliances, the growing military power, and the national will to defend its sovereignty. And in doing so, it has become a symbol of resistance, a reminder that even smaller nations can shape the future of global power. The Philippines has been tested by history like few others. For centuries, it endured colonization by Spain, occupation by the United States, and the brutal Japanese invasion during World War II. But each struggle forged resilience. The Filipino spirit is one of survival and defiance, a people who know what it means to fight for freedom. That same spirit fuels its modern stance against far greater powers today. From the jungles of Bataan to peacekeeping missions abroad, Filipino soldiers have earned global respect. Their courage is legendary. Today, as tensions rise in the South China Sea, that same fighting spirit is once again being tested. And this time, they stand with cutting-edge weapons, modern alliances, and global support behind them. Few nations in Asia can boast of owning the BrahMos supersonic missile system, but the Philippines can. With a strike range of nearly 300 kilometers and speeds 3 times faster than sound, it gives Manila the ability to hit back hard against any invading fleet. This weapon alone has shifted the balance of power. Suddenly, any adversary must think twice before testing Philippine resolve. The U.S. and the Philippines share one of the oldest defense treaties in Asia. For years, it was questioned, but now, it is back stronger than ever. With expanded bases, joint exercises, and rapid response forces, Washington has reaffirmed its pledge. An attack on the Philippines is an attack on the United States. That single promise elevates the Philippines from vulnerable outpost to heavily protected ally. It's not just America. Japan has begun supplying radars and military aid, while Australia conducts joint sea patrols with Philippine forces. Together, these alliances create a powerful security shield. For China, it means any confrontation with Manila risks triggering a wider regional conflict, something Beijing desperately wants to avoid. Modern wars are not only fought at sea or on land. They're fought in cyberspace and beyond the atmosphere. The Philippines is investing in cyber defense units and satellite technologies to secure communications and intelligence. This marks a new frontier in Manila's defense strategy, proving it's not just upgrading hardware. It's preparing for 21st century warfare. For a nation of islands, the Navy is the first and last line of defense. The Philippines is rapidly building a fleet of new frigates, offshore patrol vessels, and submarines on the horizon. Each edition tightens control over its maritime domain. Every ship launched sends a message. Philippine waters are not for the taking. For decades, Philippine skies were guarded by aging jets. But now, modern fighters from South Korea, helicopters from the US, and drones from allies are transforming its air force. Air superiority is no longer a distant dream. It's becoming a reality. And that makes the Philippines a much more formidable force. History shows us that giant empires fall not because of size, but because of overconfidence. The Philippines understands this. It knows it cannot match larger powers ship for ship, but it doesn't have to. Its strategy is simple: resilience, alliances, and deterrence. The same formula that has brought down giants before. So here we stand, a nation once overlooked, now at the very heart of global power struggles. A people underestimated, now rising as defenders of freedom. The Philippines may not be the largest, nor the wealthiest, nor the strongest. but it is the one nation bold enough to draw a line and daring enough to hold it. And that makes it one of the most important nations in the world today. The world fears the Philippines not because of its size, not because of its weapons, but because of its courage. It is the courage of a people who will not surrender. The courage of a nation standing tall at the world's most dangerous crossroads. The courage to shape the destiny of Asia itself. And that is why the world fears the Philippines now.